Good morning, everybody. We're in John chapter 20 right now, and we're talking about Thomas, the one who's most renowned for his doubting, but we know better. We know that he was a hero in many different ways. But at this low point in his life, he was a man who doubted. Let me just read to you a few verses from John chapter 20. Now, Thomas, one of the 12, was not with the disciples when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, Thomas, we have seen the Lord. But he said to them, unless I see the nail marks in his hands, and put my fingers where the nails were, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe it. First thing we notice about Thomas right now is he's a miserable man. You see people without faith and people without a real belief in who Jesus is. They're miserable people. I know a few of them. In fact, I think I've been like that a little bit myself sometimes. When your faith dwindles and your faith dies and you lose the vision and the purpose and the calling of God, the first thing that happens is your joy goes out the window. Can't help but compare him with the other disciples at this time. The other guys are ecstatic. They're saying, he is risen, Thomas. Put a smile on your face, man. Get excited, he's risen. And here's Thomas sitting with his arms folding and saying, yeah, right, I doubt that very much. But his joy had left him because of his lack of faith. One of the reasons we have faith is because of what it does for your soul, man. It restores your soul. It strengthens your soul. It gives your soul something worth living for. Without that faith, we of all people are the most miserable in the entire world. I remember at school we used to sing a song. It was a hymn talking about living more by faith and less by sight. Thomas was saying, I'm not going to live by faith until I have him in my sight. And many Christians who believe like that are of all people some of the most sad and the most joyless people that you will ever meet. And so when we look at this thing of faith, people, it's not a self-centered thing. It's not a thing we do just so that we can be sustained and that we can have what we believe we need to have. But God's blessing comes in the form of joy in your heart and in your soul. Sometimes just the presence of Jesus is all that we need. I just think of Mary in the garden at the same time. When Jesus came and Mary was crying, she saw the gardener and she said, he was here, he's now no longer here. If you know where he is, please tell me. And Jesus just very quietly whispers her name, and her joy is restored in fullness. You could have offered her $1 million or the presence of Jesus. You know what you would have chosen, hey? The presence of Jesus trumps everything. The presence of Jesus trumps good health. The presence of Jesus trumps financial gain. The presence of Jesus trumps anything that the world is able to offer you. It is incomparable. It is way out of sight. It is everything that your need and your heart desires if you can see it. But sadly, many people can't see it without seeing it. You're going to see it through the eyes of faith. And I love the analogy we sometimes use with kids is, faith is like your glasses. And when I put my glasses on, I can see a whole lot more clearly. And faith is like that. I can see so much more clear and more clearly when I put on the glasses of faith and am able to see what life is about. And my joy is restored to me. Make a personal application here, people. Could it be today you're just a miserable old codger? Could it be the reason is you're walking by sight and not by faith? Switch those things around. Start to walk by faith and less by sight, and then he will lead you with his heavenly light. And the first thing that is restored is your soul and the joy that comes to you despite bad circumstances. And we have a whole bunch of that going around us right now. And probably many of us need to take our eyes off the circumstances and, like Mary, say, hear Jesus whispering our name and saying, Mary, don't worry about that stuff. Don't worry about that stuff. My presence is all that you need. For her it was, for the disciples it was. I pray it be the same for us. Have a great day, you guys. We love you lots, man, and wish the best for you. See you soon. Bye-bye.